Sup nerds, let's see what we have on our key. It's FunKeyS. Here it is. How cute is this guy? This is of course owned by the other bucket. He's had it for 4 years now and he loves this thing. It is so tiny, smaller than any other handheld that he or I have right now. And just to give you a quick comparison, here's a Game Boy Advance cartridge next to it. And here is the SP. So full props for this company. They have been supporting this for a while now, and it's available in several different colors. They even have the translucent ones now. They also sell different button sets to go along with it, with clear instruction on how to take it apart with 2 screws on the back. And then you just lift up the battery and then the motherboard and 1 ribbon cable to detach the screen. So it is tiny but user-friendly to take apart and swap the buttons out. And this particular one is heavily modded, and we'll go over all the differences there, but the clamshell design is a pretty tight build. Really impressive, and like mentioned before, the other bucket has had this for 4 years now and it's held up pretty well, just sitting on his keyring, and that's probably where the name comes from, FunKeyS. It's a fun keyring game that is also small. So the hinges have lasted all this time, the screen is totally fine and protected. You can't really see very well, but the screws inside have rusted quite a bit from the moisture outside. But despite that, it's been playing games completely fine. So on the outside, all we really have is the light to show charging and power, a small little lip to help you flip the lid up, and a charging port on the side, which is normally a micro USB, but the other bucket has modded this to a USB-C, as you can see here. And according to him, he does not recommend doing that, as it was a tremendously difficult process figuring everything out on his own. And he even had to get an extremely small breakout board for it. So most won't fit, and even with this one he had to trim the motherboard a little bit in order to have everything fit. And of course, just the LNR here and minimal text in the back. And as you can see, there's all these gashes and scratches in the back plate here to prove that it was indeed being used as a keychain and taken along for the ride all the time, every day. The neat thing about this is that it runs its own custom OS that the development team has painstakingly put together, and they made their own OS with a lot of custom firmware using MinArch cores, which, for those that don't know, MinArch is a stripped down lightweight fork of the RetroArch, but of course for the MinUI, and it's really stable and it works really well. A bit of history though, at one point AliExpress started selling small handhelds similar to this one, but in the style of Game Boy Advance with 3D printed shells. And they just slapped the FunKeyOS on it, and people saw that and have reported to the dev team, and the Funky dev team said, "Great, we're glad, we want other people to use it, that way it doesn't cost them any money." So you know, no drama, no copyright issues over it, they just said they are happy that their product has helped other people with their stuff. And there's also a custom firmware for this that improves the frame rate a little bit and gives it a few other cores and bonuses to it. And the company fully recommends that. Even though it is based off of their own OS, they do acknowledge that there are some improvements done to it, so they just say go for it. So needless to say, the people who made this are really cool and chill people, which is pretty awesome. Anyway, let's open it up. Now when you open it, that's essentially the power button. The screen turns on and it boots into the game selection. That's it. And when you close it, you can see the screen turning off. What's extra cool about this is that since it's built for portability more than anything, not comfort, not specs, it's made just to have it with you at all times and be available on the go. So if you are playing the game, any core at all, they're all integrated into the OS, and as soon as you close the lid, it makes a safe state, puts to sleep, and then turns off. Open it back up and it will load whatever load state you were in last time. We'll show that in a minute. But let's go over some of the mods that the other bucket has made in this so that you, the viewer, can have expectations around it. Simple stuff first, the lanyard here was replaced with a more heavy duty thick one than the one that came with it, and it is still attached by the metal peg, that came in the device. So it is pretty sturdy. It's been flopping around in the keychain for a while now, but this one is a little more sturdy than the one that it came with. And as I already mentioned, the USB-C port was soldered into this instead of the micro USB original. And the OS here is the Drum Custom OS with a custom theme. And the buttons are SNESed out ABXY. Anyway, that's it for the mods. But the D-pad here is a fake one. They aren't connected in the middle, but you can press all 4 directions at the same time because of that, since they are individual buttons. And these buttons are all clicky with minimal travel, but they are not too loud. The L and R are a little difficult to hit, but the buttons are very good, they work. Even though the other bucket's thumb covers all 4 buttons, he can rest it on B and press it, and hit A when he needs to. And then start and function and menu button. Menu is, of course, in most games, it opens up a simple MIUI menu with save state, load state, exit, connect USB, that sort of thing. And the function buttons can act as select, or get this thing can run up to PS1 reliably, but because it only has R1 and L1 in the back, the company has painstakingly tested the entire PS1 library, and for games that require L2 and R2, they programmed in their own function key so that if you hold function button and press L1, it will function as L2. Same with holding the function button and pressing R1, it will function as R2. And it's only active during these games. So like the Final Fantasy VIII, for example, to run, you hit those 2 back buttons. So they tested that and added in their combo themselves, so that there is a lot less setup for the users, less testing for the customers to do. And we think that's pretty cool and neat. But otherwise, it will work as normal start and select, and then menu to get back the game menu. So in this specific one, the other bucket has a simple menu like the Analog Pocket MIUI style, where you just scroll through the list, pick a game, and it just loads, and that's it. And it didn't even start the game over, it loaded right where you had stopped before. And like we mentioned before, you close it, it saves, sleeps, and then shuts down. Sitting in the doctor's office, waiting at the bus stop, or whatever, standing in line at the bank. Take it out, flip it open with one hand whenever you have time, and it gets right back to it. And then as soon as they call your name, just slap the screen shut again. And as you can see here, it has an impressively bright screen. We'll go over that later, but according to the other bucket, it is annoyingly the brightest screen he's ever seen, and it can get very dim too though, so it is a welcome adjustment. Just quickly showing here, this is how it looks playing outside. You can see it pretty well because it is very bright. And the other bucket here is showing how he usually plays outside while waiting in line, just one-handed. What a show off. Anyway, this does also only have a mono speaker that can get pretty loud, but of course not the best quality because, I mean, look at this thing. This is very tiny and little, and it's so crazy small. And the nice thing is that aside from going into advanced settings because of Drum OS, this is such a simple menu, anyone can pick up and play it and understand what they're doing. And it lets you choose whenever you want integer scaling for these games or stretch to the full screen, which is really nice. A lot of the games for NES and Game Boy Color work well with integer scaling, but Game Boy Advance and PS1 can benefit from the stretched screen. Let's see if this works actually. Let's try changing it back to the FunKeyS OS. Oh wow, it does work. It comes with a lot of pre-installed themes, and you can even put your artwork for the covers for some of them. The other bucket actually thought he might start using this one instead because he does think it's not bad at all. There's also a little battery indicator on this one on the side here, although you should check the website regarding the battery level because look at this, again, it's so tiny. But for most games it will last around 1 to 2 hours maybe even 2.5 if you're using efficient cores. And when you're done, just move on to the next game. It works so incredibly well. We can't believe how powerful this little guy is. If you remember our Dingu A320 video, that thing couldn't run PS1 at all without a custom OS, and even with the custom OS it could barely run any PS1 games. We had to get frame skips on all that, and it was in wild time. But this runs at full speed without messing around. But also at this size, it is so tiny. But at this size, some people may have some trouble reading text in RPGs and stuff like that, but for the level of emulation that you have for PS1 and below, those games will have no problem to play. Still baffled by how well it runs and the speed of it too, regarding optimization of playing of course. Save state, go to sleep, wake up, load state. It's pretty dang fast here. And we love this thing. And you don't need to save it on your own. When you exit through the menu as well, it will just save it for you. So here, showing the Game Boy Advance stuff, depending on the scaling, it might not look as good, because this here of course is the cropped right now. But if you really want that extra real estate, you can just go here and put it to stretched like this. Which for most games honestly you won't notice too much as it is such a tiny screen. But yeah, that's all we had to say and show about the FunKeyS. Definitely one of the more unique and cool handhelds that we've come across. Anyway, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, consider helping the channel out by clicking join down below to become a member, subscribe to see more videos like this, and of course, always nerd on.